The last Premier League round was split across 2 weekends. We got one score correct, Burnley drawing 1-1 with Luton. That seems a while away, as since both those weekends we've also had an FA Cup weekend. So it's been a while since that result, but very happy to get one right. Wish I could have done better because I didn't get too many results right after that, but oh well, we'll move on. And there's some good fixtures here. It's a midweek set of fixtures. It should be interesting. Let's hope we can get some right. Make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get into my Premier League predictions. We start with Forest against Arsenal. Now Forest, 2 wins out of their last 3 Premier League games. Their latest was the loss, and it was 3-2 against Brentford. But they're above the relegation zone, which is all that matters. They just need to keep getting 2 wins out of 3 and they'll be fine. If they can get 4 points out of every 3 games, I'm sure that they will survive. They just need to start racking them up. Arsenal, very, very strange form from them. 3 games without a win in the league. However, back to winning ways, and they demolished Palace 5-0. It was a game where in the first half Palace actually looked quite good, but second half dropped off. Arsenal really showed their quality and ended up winning very convincingly. I think Arsenal will get the points here. I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal. Fulham take on Everton, and to be honest, I'm not going to go into this one too much. It absolutely reeks of a draw, so I will go 1-1. Luton face Brighton next, and I know every time Luton play at home I bring it up, but they haven't been blown away at home yet this season. Any losses they've had have only been by the odd goal. So maybe it's going to be a tight one. Luton have been doing some great comebacks as of late, especially the one against Chelsea where they were 3-0 down and could have made it 3-3 but lost 3-2. They've got something about them, Luton, that the other 2 promoted sides just don't seem to have. So keep an eye on Luton. But Brighton, very strange recently. Their last 2 cup games have been a 5-2 win and a 4-2 win. So 9 goals in 2 games. Their last 2 Premier League games have both been 0-0s. Which Brighton's going to turn up, I'm not sure. Hopefully the one that scores a lot and concedes a lot, because it makes the game more interesting. But I've got a feeling this could be a draw, but I'll go for some goals this time. 2-2. Palace face Sheffield United. Palace at home in their last 2 Premier League games, a draw against Brighton and a win against Brentford. They did lose away 5-0 against Arsenal, but it was always going to be a tough ask. Sheffield United, bottom of the league, got a 2-2 draw in their last fixture against West Ham, but away from home, worst side in the league, 2 points out of 10 games, so that's 8 losses. I've got a feeling Palace will get all 3 points, 1-0. Villa face Newcastle next, and if you remember the first day of the season, Newcastle won the reverse fixture at St James's Park 5-1. How the tables have turned since then, mainly due to Newcastle's mass injuries, but Villa, especially at home, have been brilliant. They're the best home side in the league. 10 games played, 9 wins and 1 draw, strangely against Sheffield United, who are bottom. But they're in very fine form. Away from home it's not as good, but they're home here, so they've really got an advantage. Newcastle, last 4 Premier League games have all been lost. So everything points to a Villa win, but I've got a feeling Newcastle will get something. So I'm going to go for an optimistic 1-1. Man City take on Burnley next. Pick a number, any number. Now Man City, since returning to England with the Club World Cup, have played 5 in all competitions and won them all. They look like they're on one of those kind of runs where they're just going to get to the top spot in the league and run away with it. I know Liverpool are putting up strong competition, but I've just got that feeling that Man City are going to leapfrog them and comfortably end up winning the league for some reason. Burnley, not great so far. They do pick up the odd win every now and again. Their last result was a 1-1 draw with Luton, but all in all, I don't see a chance. So I'll go for Man City to win 3-0. Spurs face Brentford next. Now Spurs in their last 6 Premier League games, 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. The draw was the most recent and it was 2-2 with Man United, but they're definitely putting in a strong challenge for finishing in that top 4. James Maddison is looking like he's back to fitness, as he did feature in their cup game against Man City at the weekend. So with him coming back, they are going to be stronger, and they are starting to get better now with players coming back, building a bit of form. So I think Spurs are going to be tough to stop. Brentford were in awful form, however Ivan Toney returned and they beat Forest 3-2 in his first game back. How's that going to spell for this club? I'm not sure, because Brentford, they do rely on Ivan Toney a lot. Will he be able to completely change them and make them a really good side again in the league? Because let's face it, they were punching above their weight when they were in form for the last few seasons, but can they continue that? I'm not sure. I think Spurs will get the win 3-1. Liverpool v Chelsea, I'm not actually going to focus on the form. Liverpool obviously top, Chelsea about mid-table. They're both starting to pick up wins really at quite a similar rate. I mean, Chelsea have won 3 in a row, but let's not focus on it. Let's focus on their head-to-head, because the last 7 fixtures between these two have been draws. Last season in the league, it was 2-0-0s. The season before in the cup, they faced each other in both finals and they both ended 0-0. This season, the reverse fixture was 1-1. Do I go for 1-1 or 0-0 or someone to win? I mean, to be honest, I can't pick a winner. These sides are always so well matched. I should probably go 0-0, but I'm going to go for some goals, so 1-1. West Ham against Bournemouth, both sides in pretty decent form. West Ham unbeaten in 5, 3 wins and 2 draws. I'm interested to see whether, Bowen, Paqueta and Kudus would all play. Kudus got knocked out of AFCON with Ghana, so he should be back. But Paqueta picked up a knock before the last few weeks, so I don't know if he's back. Bowen was a bit hit and miss as well, so this result relies on whether those play. I'm going to go for if 2 of them play. Bournemouth have lost their last 2 league games, but before that they'd won 6 out of 7, and the 2 they've lost have been against Spurs and Liverpool, so maybe tough to judge them on those losses. That's why I'm going to go for this one to end 2-2. Wolves take on Man United in our final fixture, and Wolves are very good at home recently. Their last 8 home league games they're unbeaten in, and that includes draws against Villa and Newcastle and wins against Chelsea, Spurs and Man City. So Wolves are very tough to beat at home. They've got some brilliant players, especially in attack, with Pedro Neto and Matheus Cunha standing out. I would have mentioned Hwang Hee-chan, but he is away with South Korea in the Asian Cup, so he won't be available. Man United, bit hit and miss. They drew with Spurs last time 2-2. Pretty good result, but I don't know what to think of Man United most of the time. Very tough to call. I'm actually going to go for a bit of a surprise. Wolves to win 2-1. So, those are my predictions for these Premier League fixtures. It's round 22. Let me know what your predictions are down in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe. Let's hope it's an entertaining midweek set of fixtures.